when I think about, we quote unquote search somebody's phone,
Sure.
let's say, I think text messages.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going to be there. But what other information? What other kind of information can we get out of the phone?
That's a good question. I remember this is when I was with state police, doing contract work. There was one case where someone was accused of violating their probation.
Okay.
Right. And
yeah.
so, we were able to go through the text messages, and we saw a bunch of text messages that were received, but none that were actually sent.
Okay.
So technically, the person was trying to get him to violate the parole order. And then around that same time, I'm looking through the search history, and it's the person that I have a restraining order against is texting me, "What do I do?" And it's like 3 a.m. So, I mean, it could be a ploy, but he's probably really stressed. So there's just other types of evidence that you can take into account with that. So browser history, call logs, even, social media apps, fitness trackers, right? All of that contains more data that you can parse out and organize to create a case.
Okay. So the mind reels with this.
The possibilities are endless. It's incredible.
Yeah, they really are, because like I wear a Garmin watch a lot, and that's connected to my phone.
Yep.
And that is connected to, some app online. And I actually I tell my kids that I coach cross country.
Okay.
I tell them to make their Strava account private.
Sure.
But then I challenge them to go find my house based on my Strava account, because I want to scare them into this.
Right.
And so right now, I want to kind of scare attorneys into being thoughtful about the security of their phones.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some ways that we can protect ourselves as an attorney? Let's flip this around from I can get a ton of data to how can I make sure that my data is safe in that area?
I think probably one of the biggest things you can do is have a personal phone and have a work phone.
Okay.
Because that's going to limit a lot of liability. That's going to be your way. Because if your personal device is breached, you're going to be open to a worldwide type of things. Whereas if your work phone is breached, right, then you have something else. I mean, it's not entirely on them at that point.
Yeah, this makes sense to me, because my father always told me, like when I was writing things as an attorney, he's like, write as if this was being brought up in court.
Yeah.
As if this was evidence in court. And so I think about our things as attorneys as it could potentially be subpoenaed.
Mm-hmm.
And if my personal phone is my work phone, then, we're not even talking about a breach. We're talking about I had to hand this over to somebody.
Right.
And now we have forensic analysis on my personal phone. Mm-hmm. And so separating those two things into work and personal phone sounds like a really good idea.
It is a good idea.